Alright everyone, what is up? My name is Drew, I am the Coaster Caphone, and this is my first ever vlog. If you can't tell where I'm at, I am at America's Rock and Roller Coast. Or is it the roller coaster capital of the world? Or is it a place like no other? Whatever the hell they're calling it these days, it will always be known as Cedar Point. And hopefully you can hear me over this music, which is very loud. Louder than normal. I've entered through the Magnum gate for early entry, and when I was driving in I saw Steel Vengeance testing, and normally that doesn't open until noon. So let's see if I can get on that first. What I'm going to try to do today is go on every coaster here except for the kiddie ones without fast lane. It is a Wednesday, so the crowd shouldn't be horribly bad, but we'll see. Hopefully I can get on everything. There's Gemini. Let's see if I can do Steel Vengeance first. That would be good, because if I can get Steel Vengeance out of the way, that would be great. I guess while I'm walking to see if Steel Vengeance is open, I should tell you a little bit about myself. I have 95 credits. The parks I have been to are Cedar Point, Kings Island, Bobolo Island, which is a defunct park located in the Detroit River. Well, it used to be located on an island in the Detroit River. I've been to Kennywood, Kentucky Kingdom, Holiday World, Dollywood, Six Flags Great Adventure, Six Flags America, Kings Dominion, Busch Gardens Williamsburg, and Carowinds, and Canada's Wonderland. So those are the parks I've been to. They have totaled up 95 credits for me, so I'm nearing 100. Might get that in a couple weeks when I go to Six Flags in Chicago. What the hell is that one called? Oh yeah, Six Flags Great America. Had a brain fart there for a second. We'll definitely get 100 if I get to that park. So Steel Vengeance was testing. Let's see if it's actually open. Maverick hasn't opened yet. So let's see what Steel Vengeance looks like. There are people on Steel Vengeance. So guess what? Steel Vengeance is open for early entry for the day. And there it goes. This is something new. You got metal detectors at Steel Vengeance. It's new for this year. Alright, ride one of the day is complete. Just got off Steel Vengeance. And what is there to say about that one except that it's freaking perfect. Just a perfect roller coaster. The outer bank turn, definitely my favorite part of the ride. A lot of people like the second half better. I like the first half better. The big hills, the big floater airtime hills. Definitely the double up leading into the mid horse break run. Love that. Road and Row 3 because they're not honoring row requests, which is annoying, but whatever. Let's go on Maverick now. Let's see. 30-minute wait. That's not too bad. All right, Maverick, ride 2 of the day. Just got off Maverick, and I mean, pretty much a perfect roller coaster too. I mean, just the intensity, the airtime, the launch. Oh my goodness, that ride is just unfreaking believable. So fast, so incredible. I mean, really just a perfect roller coaster in every way. Wow, I mean, I've ridden it so many times. It just takes my breath away every single time. So next, I think we're gonna walk down the Frontier Trail, and we're gonna try to see if I can get on Millennium Force. I'm a little behind schedule because normally I can do Steel Vengeance, Maverick, and Millennium Force by the end of early entry, but I didn't arrive into the park until about 9:10. After getting through security and everything, it was probably about 9:20, and it was probably not 9:25-ish until I entered the Steel Vengeance queue. So behind schedule, but that's okay. I still think I can get on every coaster here without using any fast lane. So next up is Millennium Force, and this is a coaster that I love. Obviously, it's the first ever Giga coaster, and the first time I rode this coaster, when it opened, me and my brother waited, gosh, I don't know how long it was, 5-6 hours for it, and the line started right around here. Yeah, Fort Sandusky right here. The Millennium Force line started right around here, so we waited a long time, and it was definitely worth it. This coaster, the first time I rode Millennium Force, it blew me away. All right, just got off Millennium Force, and again, awesome ride. Really love this coaster. You know, there's a lot of people who don't hold it in that high of regard. In my opinion, coaster enthusiasts can be put into two different categories: those that just love intense rides, and those who are crazy about airtime. And those that are crazy about airtime, I can see why they don't like this ride that much, because there isn't that much airtime. But it is very intense, and there's enough airtime for me. The drop obviously gets you a lot of air, and you know, the two hills that go over the river onto the island and off the island, and then the little ejector hill at the end, I mean, it's enough air for me. I love nice, good, smooth, intense rides, and Millennium Force definitely does that. Alright, it looks like Valraven's closed actually. There's a train just sitting on the Blake Run right there, and I haven't seen anything go around yet. So that kind of sucks. Oh, this line looks incredibly crazy already too. Yeah, I think we're going to be skipping Valraven for now. Alright, Blue Streak, the only wooden roller coaster at Cedar Point right now. I think this is a very underrated wooden roller coaster. The first time I rode this, I believe it was just buzz bars and seatbelts. And seatbelts were optional. Not too bad of a line. Alright, just got a bite to eat from here. This Corral hot dog basket and fries. One of the better meals in my opinion in this whole park. In which I think that's one of Cedar Point's weaknesses is the quality of food that they serve. I mean, I know it's an amusement park, I know it's not a 5-star restaurant, but I think the food could be a little bit better. But that hot dog is pretty good, the fries are pretty good. It's really hard to screw up a hot dog, but at least it's something. Also just got off Blue Streak, and what should have been a 10-minute wait turned into a 25-minute wait because the operations were pretty poor. Normally Cedar Point's operations are really good, but I don't know what's going on with that ride today. Excuse me. Operations are pretty bad. Raptors line was really long. Gatekeeper, I didn't even look at it, but those two rides, the line seems to get really short, if not walk-ons, by the end of the day. And I see that trains are being launched on Top Thrill Dragster. And there is a rule at Cedar Point: when you see Dragster operating, you get your butt to Dragster, because it might not be operating for long, and then it might not even reopen. So I'm gonna get over to Dragster as fast as I can. Make sure I get on that. Valraven opened up, but the line was really long, so I don't know. I mean, I like that ride, but it's not worth waiting an hour for. Not even close. Oh, there goes another train on Dragster. Oh yeah, I'm getting on this for sure. Dragster is awesome. Maybe 19 most intense seconds of any roller coaster anywhere. I haven't been to that one in Japan, Duda Dropa, whatever the hell it's called. Looks pretty cool too. But yeah, this is the best launch coaster in my opinion coming up. So let's get over there. All right, the app is saying 20-minute wait here for Dragster. I can do that. I can do 20 minutes. Let's see if they're accurate though. Let's watch this train launch. Arms down. Alright, the app was advertising about 20 minutes. Outside the ride, they're advertising about 30 minutes, so I can do that too, no problem. It looks like it might be closer to 20. We'll see. Yeah, it's about a half-hour wait. Which I think it's not. I think it's pretty worth it. They're not even running the ride at full capacity. Come on, guys. See that? Not full capacity. right, just got off Top Thrill Dragster. Back row, Top Thrill Dragster, awesome ride. Very simple, goes up, goes down, but goes really high, goes really fast. Awesome ride. Don't know what to say about it, just unbelievable ride. Takes your breath away every single time, even though I've been on it a million times. Oh, love that ride. Alright, next up is Corkscrew. It's right next door, old Aero coaster. Sometimes it has its good days, sometimes it has its bad days. But let's see. Well, it looks like a walk-on. Let's see. All right, just got off Corkscrew. You know, it has its good days, it has its bad days. Today it wasn't running that great, it was real bumpy. Not a very comfortable experience. But, you know, I understand what Aero did for the industry. Without Aero, I'm not sure we have Top Thrill Dragster or Millennium Force or Steel Vengeance. I don't know. But unfortunately, their rides are becoming more and more uncomfortable for me, but I love what they did for the industry, like I said, and you know, sometimes they have good days. So, well, with that said, I guess I'm about to hit the Aero trifecta, because up next is Magnum XL200, the Parks Hyper Coaster, and the first one, obviously. And this ride is basically what made me into a coaster enthusiast. When I first came to this park, whenever it was, 1992 I believe was the first time I visited this park with my brother, my dad, and my mom. I mean, Magnum was it. Magnum was the star attraction. And I did all the rides up until that point. We had Blue Streak, you had, you know, Corkscrew, Gemini. But it really wasn't until I rode this one right here, Magnum XL200, that got me loving roller coasters. And wow, looks like a walk-on, sweet. I mean, I basically stood right here and looked up at it. Probably took me 10 seconds of looking at it, and I was like, oh my goodness, do I actually want to do this or not? And by the time I looked up, my mom and my dad and my little brother were probably all the way to the steps over there. And I was like, oh, well, I guess we're doing this. And it absolutely blew me away. And I think we rode it 5 or 6 times that day, I don't remember, but it's what got me loving roller coasters. And ever since then, I've been wanting to ride the bigger, badder, fastest ones. So, let's see how it's running today. See you when I get off. All right, just got off Magnum XL200, and not a bad ride. I've had worse rides on that. It was a little bumpy, but overall not a bad ride. Remember what I was saying before about about Millennium Force, how a lot of enthusiasts fall into 2 categories, either those that love airtime or those that like intensity. And you know, this ride, there goes Dragster. Magnum obviously has the airtime, so there's a lot of enthusiasts that really like Magnum, even though it's pretty rough at times. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like the ride. Obviously, it was pioneering First ever hyper coaster, started the Coaster Wars. So, yeah. Let's check out this band here. I've never actually seen this before.
Take it away.
Not a bad band, pretty good. All right, over here we have Gemini, and all day I have not seen this go until just a few seconds ago. So let's see if they're gonna let people on this or not. It is an aero hybrid racing coaster, and it's usually one that I enjoy a lot, actually. It's smooth. It's got a little bit of airtime. What can I say? This is a classic ride, and there's some people who are floating the rumor around that its days are numbered, and I hope not, because I love this ride. There goes the blue train, I believe. I am colorblind, so yes, it is blue. They're testing it. All right, hopefully I can get a ride on it. We'll see if it's open or not. All right, Gemini is undergoing maintenance, so we're gonna walk down to Cedar Creek Mine Ride. See if we can get on that, or if I can get on that. And then I'll go back to Gemini. All right, so I just took a ride on Cedar Creek Mine Ride and Skyhawk, the SNS swinging, screaming swing. Can't pass those up. Those are awesome. So, not much to say about Cedar Creek Mine Ride. Not really intense. Not really comfortable. I'm a bigger person. I'm like 6'3", so just the way you sit in these trains isn't very comfortable for me. The helix at the end is pretty fun. That's about it. All right, just did a ride on Gemini, the blue side and the red side. Again, love that ride. Lots of good pops of airtime. It's a lot better when it races. The first time I had a race, we lost. I was on the blue side. And then the second time we were about to race when I rode the red side, but for whatever reason, the dispatch on the blue side stopped and we kind of creamed them. So we didn't actually get to race, which kind of sucked, but oh well. All right, it just came off Iron Dragon, Aero suspended coaster. Not much to say about this one. It's okay. My dad calls it Iron Butterfly because of how weak it is. And I guess Iron Butterfly is a band too, I don't know. But the second half is pretty good when it goes over the water around in that helix. But other than that, it's kind of a tame ride. So now we're going to go on to Rougarou. And I'm sure you know, if you're a fan of roller coasters and Cedar Point in general, that Rougarou used to be Mantis, a stand-up coaster. And I'm so glad that they changed this into a sit-down coaster, a floorless coaster, because, well, I didn't ride it when it was a stand-up because I didn't want to lose my junk. This ride was so painful as a stand-up coaster, it's ridiculous. But now, you know, I actually pretty much, I like it as a floorless. It has a bed wrap, I think. A lot of people don't like it. I think it's rattly, I think it's a headbanger. I don't get any headbanging on it. Big vertical loop right here. It's a coaster that I like, and there's usually never a line. And it looks like it's that way right now, so let's get on it.
All riders on the platform, please take your seat back. It is moving closer.
All right, just got off Rougarou, and I really like that ride. The first half is pretty intense, it's pretty compact. All the elements are one after another. It's very whippy. I love it. I mean, now the second half, there's one inversion, and then it just kind of meanders around, like somebody pressed auto finish on Roller Coaster Tycoon. But, I mean, the first half of that ride is really good. Pretty smooth. No headbanging for me at all. So, I don't know. I mean, and it was a walk-on. I walked right on to the back row. So, I mean, I love that ride. Probably the second best floorless I've ever done. Bizarro at Six Flags Great Adventure is probably my favorite. But I think Rougarou is a very underrated ride. And I like it very much. So, done with the middle of the park. All I need are, well, not done with the middle, Valraven. I think I'm gonna get on this next. I guess I'll just have to wait in the line, whatever it is, because Gatekeeper, Wicked Twister, and Raptor should have very little waits. All right, just got off Valraven, a dive coaster. Like I was saying before, I really like that coaster. I love the drop. Obviously, vertical drop. Awesome. The element after that, I think it's pretty forceful. Dive loop also, I think, is forceful. That 360-degree roll, and then the airtime hill. I actually get airtime on it. So overall, I think that's a really good coaster. I got 3 more coasters to do. I will definitely get them done. Look at Twister, Gatekeeper, and Raptor. We're gonna go straight across and see again Wicked Twister and then Gatekeeper. And then Raptor will be the last one. Alright, Wicked Twister time. There's a lot of rumors that this ride is not going to be here very much longer. They took out the sports stadium that was right over here, and they say this might be next to go, and that this could be a possible location for the newer coaster, or the newest coaster whenever they build it. A lot of speculation is that it's going to be a GCI roller coaster, wooden roller coaster of some kind, maybe not GCI, who knows. I'd prefer a ground up RMC, but that's just me. Yeah, and I know they already have an RMC in Steel Vengeance, but you know, it could be a different kind of RMC.
So make sure your children are prepared.
Could be, you know, RMC could build, you know, a classic wooden roller coaster. I don't see why not.
3, 2, 1.
Alright, just got off that one, the Wicked Twister, and I really hope they don't remove it. Build the wooden roller coaster around it or something. That ride's really fun. Put together a boardwalk, put together a pier out on the lake or something. I mean, and build the coaster out there. I really like this coaster. This coaster is so much fun. The launch is so intense. It's really, really fun. Alright, we got Gatekeeper here. And it looks like it's a walk-on. Alright, just got off Gatekeeper, and I gotta say, that's maybe the roughest ride I've ever had on that coaster. It's usually glossy smooth, but it was a little rattly and a little rough. Don't know what's going on, but probably the worst ride I've ever had on Gatekeeper. Yeah, don't know what to say. Normally, it's a pretty enjoyable coaster. The keyhole element is great. The wing over drop is spectacular. The ride's really good up until the mid-course brake run. Then after that, it's pretty lame. But overall, I thought it was a great coaster, usually. Just today, it was bumpy as all hell. Excuse me, don't really know why. But, whatever. Alright, got one more coaster up. That is Raptor, the B&M invert. One of the best inverts on the planet, in my opinion. Alright, just got off Raptor. Having some problems today because it's only running 2 trains. Normally it runs 3. And it broke down right before I was supposed to get on. And they transferred that 3rd train off the track. So having some problems today with Raptor, but still got on it. And I just rode every single roller coaster at Cedar Point. And it's not even 6 p.m. yet. So everybody bow down to me, I am the greatest. Just kidding. Alright, I gotta rant though for a little bit. Because one of my biggest pet peeves about amusement parks in general is when they assign seats. Now I understand brand new coaster, whatever, assign seats, keep the line moving. But Cedar Point this year, for whatever reason, is starting to assign seats on every single frickin' coaster. And I mean, on this one, like for example Raptor, I like the back, but couldn't ride in the back, wasn't allowed to wait for the back, had to ride in row 4. I mean, come on, give me a break. You know, let people pick their rides on a ride that's over 20 years old, for crying out loud. Alright, rant over. I love you, Cedar Point. I'm going to Hugo's, get something to eat. Alright, so after getting on that train ride, making my way out of the park, I had a great day, obviously. Cedar Point is just an awesome park. Can't come here and not have a great time, despite them not letting you choose your row on some coasters. That kind of rubs me the wrong way always, but it is what it is. Still had a great day. Yeah, so let's see. Some of the things I plan on doing in the future. I gotta get to Kings Island this year. I haven't been yet. Maybe I'll do another vlog from there. But that's a park that I've been to a million times. And then I gotta get myself to Kennywood at some point to ride Steel Curtain. That ride is probably my most anticipated new ride of this year. So I gotta get out there for that. And Max Force at Great Adventure, or I'm sorry, at Great America, it looks like it's testing. So no, I don't. So I gotta get out to Great America. That's a park I have not been to. So I'll get out there, I'll do a vlog from there, I guess. You know, unless all of you hated this one, then I'll go home and cry and never do a vlog again. But hopefully, you know, you guys liked it, those of you that are still watching. all 4 of you. Yeah, so then also I'm thinking about doing some kind of big trip maybe at the end of the year. I'm a teacher, and I always like to do some kind of trip right before we go back to school. So I'm thinking about maybe going through the Pennsylvania parks, even though I'll include Kennywood on that, like up Waldemere, Knoebels, and because it's so close, maybe Great Adventure, even though I've been there before, Dorney Park, Hershey Park, and then Kennywood and then back home. Or the other choice I have, or option that I have that I'm looking at, is to get on an airplane and hit up Six Flags over Georgia, Six Flags San Antonio, and Six Flags over Texas, and then coming home. So we'll see how much money I have, we'll see how much time I have, and I can get out there and maybe do vlogs from those parks. We'll see. But sooner or later I gotta get to those parks because they look awesome. And then some other things I might do on my channel. I might do a top 25 of my favorite coasters, we'll see. Maybe do some park comparisons, park battles, if you will. You know, I'm not trying to be anybody else, I'm just trying to be myself. I know there's another channel that's really popular that did coaster or park battles, if you will, but I'd like to put my own spin on it, if you don't mind. So we'll just see what's in store. I thought this was pretty fun. I'd like to do it again. With that, let's watch my leg and go up the lift hill.